Well, I grew up as a Catholic. I was raised on Catholic beliefs. I went to church, I sang in a choir, but I didn't really live my life as a Catholic. When it got to high school, I didn't really understand why I was going to church. It didn't really do anything for me, so I left and just kind of lived my life as I wanted to. I figured you only have one life, so you might as well enjoy it. One summer, I guess, where I kind of fell off the wagon. I started just going out with random guys all the time, and it got to the point where I didn't even really tell my friends or anything. I just kind of got to the point where I was kind of basing my self-worth on whether or not there was a guy around, and when they left I had none, and when they were around I had lots of self-worth. Third year of university, I became really good friends with someone who was a Christian. I started asking questions, and it just sort of started as curiosity, and I asked him what his denomination was, why go to church, what does church do for you, who's God, what's the Trinity, all sorts of questions just out of curiosity, but the questions led to more and more discussions. And eventually he started asking me questions like, why wasn't I going to church? And I had a lot of excuses, like, well, I work on Sundays and I make the most money on Sundays as a waitress, so I'll go to church after school. I'll go to church, in a few years, and it's not time right now. And I think mostly I just didn't want to change my lifestyle, and I knew that becoming a Christian would mean a change in lifestyle. Eventually I just decided that I guess I didn't have any more excuses. So I went to work and I asked for Sundays off, which was a big deal for me. And I started sort of church hopping. Every Sunday I'd go to a different denomination, different church. And as I was starting to church hop, I would sit in a park a lot, kind of like this actually, and I would write, and I had a journal that a friend gave me, and I just sort of started writing, and I wasn't sure who I was writing to, but I was writing my questions about faith and my struggles, my challenges, and it was a place where I could be totally honest. Eventually I realized that I was writing to God, and that this journal was kind of like a prayer journal, and I found it a lot easier to write to God as opposed to talk to Him. And that's what made me really realize what I struggled with, what I didn't understand. And then I could then go back to my friend that I met in third year and talk to him and ask questions and get more clarity. I found a church that I really liked, and I realized then how affected I was by how I was being treated before with guys, and sort of started to realize what a real relationship was, and that my relationship with God was the best relationship I could ever have. Turning to God sort of made me realize that you can trust in somebody and that you do have self-worth. Yeah, it was a big moment for me, I think. Actually having that person that you could rely on so strongly. I think, well, before any relationship I had, I really didn't understand the concept of honesty when I got into the habit of just going from guy to guy, and you lose that trust and you lose touch with reality. And now I'm through a lot of struggle. I'm now in a relationship where I can be 100% honest, and I know that I'm loved and that we have God to guide us through any of our struggles. And having God as part of that relationship has made the world of a difference, because when you're going through a struggle, you both turn to God. It just feels so good to be part of a relationship where you both can be honest with each other and can trust each other, and you know that it's actually love. I was thinking about this the other day. My life is so different, and I was at a Hillsong concert the other night, and I realized, I just sort of stopped and thought, I never would have imagined myself here. God has changed my life. God gives me hope and love. part of a church that I love, that encourages me to follow God and to make a difference.